Hey everybody!
Hello.
You know what I like about that
Evening.
video? I
Everything.
like that it gives me time to freaking get my nerves under control.
Hey, more time for jalapenos.
Hey, I showed. Were you here? You weren't here, Destroyer. I showed McMarty.
Yep.
I've definitely downed a handful of jalapenos trying to erase my headache. So, and it's working so far. The only problem is now I might have to pause to blow my nose. No, I'm just kidding. It definitely clears out the sinuses and a few other organs at the same time. So, man, it's good to be here, guys. Glad to be able to connect and got a good handful of folks joining us here. I am officially kind of the only controller of what's going on. So let's see. I'll try to keep up with comments in here as we get people on board. So, how's everybody doing, man?
Doing great. Full of light, love, and joy.
Yeah,
That's
exciting.
great. It's great to have you here, Fisto, Big Bear. We've invited a few others. Again, I don't know if you guys see the bottom bar. If there's someone down there, though, that I need to let in, let me know, because I think I'm the only one who can do that right now. Usually we have a couple of us. Andy's not able to be with us today, and Dead Poet as well. But we're really just interested in just kind of keeping the momentum. It's been an awesome week. Just watching the reaction to this news that we're going to take the contracts immutable. And I think it's kind of exceeding our expectations a little bit. And it's been a nice, pleasant surprise in that respect. And I would say probably 90 to 95% of it's been organic. We have started using our OTC pool to help support sells and to accumulate and buy back Axion. I did put an announcement about that and how we're using the OTC, and we'll be as we move forward to immutability, we're going to be talking about the OTC, the Treasury, and Bitcoin rewards as well, and how that will be handled as we move forward. So it's been pretty exciting.
Exactly. We've had many people asking about those BTC divs. Like, are they going to be back? When? When are we going to be paid in BTC divs? Like all those questions. I hope you guys are listening to this live stream because we're definitely happy to answer your questions. We've been asking you to wait on those things because we still needed to discuss, to adjust, to be sure everything was going on properly. We were taking the proper routes in regards to where to go with how our ecosystem has been and is being built today. So we're pretty happy to be here today and share those ideas with you.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, so I guess we'll kind of dive into it. This may or may not be a short update. We really just kind of wanted to talk about a few milestones and just kind of keep the energy pumped and moving forward. A couple of things that I've kind of caught my eye is, and this happened almost immediately within the first couple of days after the announcement last week, and that is that we've erased about $3 billion from the available liquidity Axion on the market, and we've seen that $3 billion staked. So while the total supply number hasn't changed a whole lot, that's one of the biggest things we saw. Is we saw a lot more staking. We saw some significant engagement in the accelerator. And obviously, and we've had some pretty big, consistent buys on the open market, and that's really all contributed to where we're at today, and quite excited. And we're not done yet. So, tomorrow's a big holiday here in the U.S. And so for those of you who are in the U.S., it'll be celebrating Thanksgiving. In lockstep with that, I definitely want to take a minute here to express my appreciation to the community, the team, and to everyone who has been kind of flowing back into the Discord community. And the energy, you can definitely feel the change in the energy in spite of the rest of the world and the overall financial situation that we're dealing with the inflation. Inflation here is just insane in the U.S. when it comes to food. Cars might not be going, much higher, but food is just astronomically, and it's almost doubled the cost of food. And so we know a lot of people are being hard hit with the world economies, and so it's really nice to see things on our end start to really acquire some strength. So, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope everybody here in the U.S. has an awesome holiday, and everyone around the world. It's always good to take a minute out and think of those things that we're all thankful for. So, definitely thankful for this team, for everybody who's a part of Axion, and just awesome, and thankful that I can be a part of this. So, anybody else want to share things along those lines? I know I think there is some mixed feelings as far as the holiday season, but regardless of how the season started, it's always good to take a minute out and give thanks. So yeah, we're still working on getting the lifestyle store up and running. We've had a little bit of a glitch with it's set up for global shipping. It's set up to ship to 5-6 different continents, countries, but for some reason it keeps defaulting to the U.S. and so we're trying to figure out why. So that's kind of our last little hurdle that we're trying to overcome. But the lifestyle store is pretty close to being ready, as is our launch alliance, and we'll have more of that. But I think one of the biggest questions that we've seen over the course of this last week is, what is the accelerator going to look like once it's immutable? Because once it's immutable, we're not going to be changing it. And as you know, over the last year and a half, at least a good year and a half, we've made several changes to the accelerator and to how Axion mints tokens and how, that whole staking process. So I thought we would, we're getting ready. So we are getting ready to push the last update that will ever hit the accelerator or the ecosystem in and of itself. So, okay. Awesome. Thanks.
Nice. Thank you, Floss.
So I am kind of manipulating both things here. So hopefully we'll continue to go smoothly.
I guess before we dive in, just a quick reminder, since you talked about the merch store, there's a design competition still going on in the Discord. Or you can submit your own Axion design that you want to see in the Axion Lifestyle store.
Yeah,
nice.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you reminding me that, because I usually depend on Andy for all of that. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we do have the design competition that we're doing, and that about something else as you were talking there. Oh, and if you haven't read the recent Medium article that I just sent out, hopefully do us a big ask, a big favor. We need to get that message out to our community. I know I brought in 8 or 9 friends early on, and and I kind of got to where, with the market, mainly with the market being so uncertain, um, I found it hard to feel confident and comfortable introducing friends and bringing people in. And that's not the ask. The ask is to just simply go out and take the time to share some of our recent articles, share the news, what's going on. If you have introduced some friends into the ecosystem and you haven't touched base with them for a while, shoot them an email, wish them well, and just let them know, hey, that some things are happening here. The biggest thing is we just want to get the word out, and let everyone know that we are heading to a place where things aren't going to be changed anymore. We're going to have a lot more stability, and there will be a lot more confidence overall, especially considering what's going on in the market today. What is this? Yeah, I'm just going to look at a couple comments here. So So if you hop on Medium and you share and Twitter, just get out there and help us get this message out so we can reach some of those. We've got 15,000-ish token holders out there between liquid and staked. And we want to make sure everybody knows that, what's happening with their investment and that decision that they made a long time ago. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So we'll just jump into this. So we are about to push the last update to the accelerator that will ever be made. So let me see how I do this. There we go.
Yep. We can see your screen perfect.
So we actually are calling, and I can't remember if we actually said this yet. We're calling this campaign Locked and Loaded. The entire campaign that we've kind of developed is locked and loaded, and we are not feature complete. We are still going to be able to build out and on top of our ecosystem. We're still going to be able to bring in some awesome partnerships. We're going to be able to develop secondary token use. And so Axion is so far from being feature complete, it's not funny, but we are going to be locked and loaded. So if you look at this right now, so currently in the accelerator, our buybacks are at 65%. We have 20% going to the OTC and 15% going to the foundation. So how we're going to stage this moving forward is there will be a 5% reduction in the buyback burn, but we are bringing back the Bitcoin rewards. Now, this number is not very huge. I get it, but it's sustainable. And that's what's critical, is this is sustainable. And then where the OTC currently is 20%, we're taking this number and we're breaking it up between the OTC and the Treasury. So the OTC, and I got another slide where I'll kind of break this down, but this is going to be broken down into the OTC and the Treasury, and the foundation is also given up 5%, so the 5% really is coming from our foundation and from the buyback and burn. However, and this is kind of important, with the OTC, that will be buying back and burning, or buying back and injecting Axion into our liquidity. So where the initial buyback and burn might be dropping 5%, it's going to be increased by about 10% here. And that will be handled depending on the market conditions. So funds will be used to buy Axion, to be burned or added to liquidity depending on our market conditions. Much like what we've done here recently, we have taken some of the OTC funds that we had built up, and we've been using that to buy back Axion in preparation to be injected into our liquidity and we will be launching the T-bills next week with our on Immutable Day, if you will. And so those funds are going to be sent over this afternoon so that ApeSwap can prepare to build that our Treasury bill, which will be our first Treasury bill over on ApeSwap. And what anybody who's participating in the Jungle Farm right now will be able to take the funds that they have in the Jungle Farm, and once the Jungle Farm expires, and if you were paying attention here last week, it reached an expiration, which we extended because we wanted to have it still in place once we launched our T-bill. So you'll be able to take the liquidity, the LP that you have staked in the Jungle Farm, and you'll be able to stake it as a Treasury bill. And then what that will do for the ecosystem is that will solidify and help us grow our liquidity in a way that the ecosystem can maintain that liquidity. And so the same thing will be with the Treasury funds. We've got the Treasury fund. So we're taking that OTC, we're breaking it in half. Half will go to the OTC and half will go to Treasury. These funds will be used to buy back Axion and will be added to liquidity. We're calling that buyback and hold and buyback and build. So it'll go, it can be paired up with the OTC funds for liquidity. We can buy back Axion and use it to launch incentives, develop partnerships, issue bonds, and more. And really what that's going to do is it's going to go back to kind of help rebuild the Treasury so that Axion can continue to grow liquidity and and continue to develop opportunities outside of our ecosystem through partnerships. And the foundation funds from the accelerator that go to support the ecosystem as a whole. Basically, these are going to be funds that keep the lights on, keep the servers running, keep the website up to date, keep us, keep mods in Discord, make sure that we have a team that is able to function and continue to grow the Axion ecosystem. And then, of course, the big one there, the BTC rewards. So I'm not sure if we're going to be pushing this update this afternoon. We had wanted to push it before this afternoon, but there's just a lot going on. We're making sure we're going back over all the changes and making sure that once we push that update, that potentially we do not have to push another update before Immutable Day. And we can see that it's functioning the way that we expect it to function as we approach that moment when we actually make the contracts non-upgradable. So yeah, and there's one other kind of caveat in this whole thing that we're really excited about, and you're just going to have to come back next Tuesday to hear that and for us to be able to kind of explain that. But there is one pretty awesome caveat to all of this that we're going to be locking into the ecosystem as well. So I think that kind of covers it, guys. Any points or any thoughts that you think I'm?
Well, there's a question actually from Mitul Seth. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name.
Which one?
It says, I'm joining almost after 1 year. What is this news around Immutable? Yeah, this one.
I'm joining. Oh, so you've been away for a year. So the Axion ecosystem, the Axiom core contracts, and to be honest with you guys, 90+% of crypto projects out there right now are upgradable. It's actually a far lower number that are immutable. And immutable just means that we cannot, from this day forward, go in and change the contract. We can't take away BTC divs. Sorry, I gotta say that BTC rewards. We cannot go in and take away BTC rewards. We can't decide one day that we want more money in the foundation, so we go in and we change that. We can't decide that we want to. We're going to reach a point where what you see is what you get, and there'll be no more changes, which ultimately and really to get things this, it seems kind of simple when you look at the numbers, and we really wanted to be, when we did this, we wanted to make sure that we weren't favoring one aspect of the ecosystem over another. So the BTC rewards are just as important as the OTC, and the OTC is just as important as the foundation, and the Treasury is just as important as the OTC. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at sustainability, what's sustainable, and what is ultimately going to help grow the ecosystem. And I think maybe Big Bear, you shared some thoughts about the BTC rewards in the past that I thought were pretty important. Do you want to kind of maybe say a few things about that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, when Bitcoin dividends and back in the day were introduced, and it was a different tokenomics game. There was some incorrect mathematics that were put into play, and although the rewards were plentiful, they were juicy, it was great, everybody was so excited, me included, it just wasn't sustainable. So I think the important thing for everybody in the ecosystem to remember is that this project is going to be rewarding you with Bitcoin once again going forward for the perpetuity of the ecosystem as long as it's alive. The team is setting it up now so that we are at the very least, we're going to get to 15 years. Now, even though the rewards aren't going to be as robust as they were back in the day, the important is that you're getting them. And we all need to keep focus on Bitcoin in and itself, whether you're getting $5 a week or $500 a week or whatever it is that you're getting. I mean, personally for me, I'm just going to be taking all of that all those BTC rewards, and I'm going to be putting them in cold storage, and I'm going to sit on that stuff for the next 5 to 10 years, because that in itself is going to be a very, very, very nice present down the road for all the participants in the ecosystem that collect them and just sit on them. And by sitting on them, I mean put them into cold storage. Don't keep them in a hot wallet. Don't keep them on exchanges anywhere. Put it into cold storage. At least that's what I'm going to be doing. Not financial advice. This is my own personal opinion. But
well,
yeah,
and
I'm just going to keep collecting them. I mean, it's Bitcoin.
I like what you've called them in the past, and that's dust. Right now, it might be dust, but in the future, I mean, what happens when dust builds up on the furniture? Right, it builds up.
It builds up. Sure. I mean, the inevitability, the pure mathematics of Bitcoin dictate that it's only going to go up. Yes, we have ebb and flows. We have market cycles. We have bull runs. We have bear runs. It is what it is. But the pure mathematics of the way Bitcoin was designed, even though it may lack utility as far as DeFi is concerned, it's still a great store of value. And that value is only going to continue to go up over time. And it's just basically the patient are going to get rewarded big time. So, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be collecting them and just basically putting on my ledger, cold storage.
So McMarty, you want to take that question?
Yes. So, well, actually, for you, they are the same thing, because we just decided to rename them because it was bringing lots of confusion. We see them as rewards. I think it's more accurate to call them rewards because they change over time. They change depending on volume happening in the ecosystem, on buys, on sales, on everything. So we call them rewards because you don't know. It's very hard for you to exactly know how much you're going to take because it fluctuates. So so we saw lots of confusion, lots of questions, and those questions were totally legitimate. I mean, it's important to have like things set properly, explained with words everyone can resonate with, and yeah, that's why pretty much we decided to change it. So for those that were here before, divs and rewards are the same thing, but now we decided to call them rewards, just so newcomers can actually understand it properly and no confusion. We don't want confusion. We don't want to confuse new investors. So yeah, sorry for those that actually I've been calling them divs this whole time. We have been doing it, but yeah. Now, when you hear,
and the other side of the coin there is that dividends are typically a locked-in metric.
Exactly.
If you invest into a traditional vehicle that offers a dividend, that dividend is set. Yes, it's based off of some metrics, but it's set. Whereas with the reward system, if we were to do that, then most likely, eventually, once we are, in the eyes of the traditional financial world, it'll be really easy for that to be looked at as it's a word used for securities.
Yep.
And so, and because it's dependent on activity within the accelerator, and it's not a set metric based on your investment, then it's just more accurately, it is a reward for staking. And so while it's a simple word change, it actually kind of opens the door a little bit to explore other ways to provide rewards down the road. So and not be stuck or confined to this mindset that you're entitled to a dividend. So
yeah, and I mean dividends, like you touched on, dividends is a term that is more born out of traditional finance. Mm-hmm. And we're not traditional finance. We're not TradFi. This is DeFi, and it's the same process. It's the same outcome, but it's just different language. That's all.
So we got a question: any change on emergency unstake or late stake of Axion tokens?
No. Oh, actually, no, because previously, and it's the same right now, those tokens are being burned. So if you
and just to clarify that, though, they're not being burned. What happens is they're never actually minted.
Yeah.
So we neither burn them nor mint them, and they are organically removed from the amount that's being reported as staked or as reported as being part of our supply. Let's see. So another question, what's approximately will be the reward percentage? That is an algorithm that's set up by ApeSwap. We're not sure what that's going to be yet until they actually create the T-bill. We're going to be setting the length, the amount that's available. So until the Treasury bill has actually been created, we really can't say. It is not going to be the same as the Jungle Farm, but it will be initially it will be significantly more than if you were to just simply stake in the accelerator. And that's okay, because the T-bill is meant for, it's a dual purpose. Number one, it helps us build our liquidity. Number two, there are a lot of people that participate in these Treasury bills that are not necessarily Axion holders. So it is a really good way to introduce a lot of other eyeballs to the Axion ecosystem. So they'll come in, they'll participate in our Treasury bill. We will take ownership of that LP at the expiration. They receive their rewards as Axion, and then it's our job over the next 60 days to help educate them on what Axion is, what's available here, what makes us, what sets us apart from other projects, why we feel, you know, we have something of value here that they would want to participate in long term. Let's see. Okay, so will we be able to buy Axion on BSC or Ethereum network? Anybody want to hop on that one?
Well,
the short answer is no.
Yeah, exactly. That's what exactly what I was going to
The
say.
long answer is going immutable does not mean that we could not eventually look at going cross-chain. So making our core contract immutable. Now, staking and staking rewards will always be on Polygon, but there is nothing keeping us from being able to get to a point at some point where we could have our token contracts on Binance or on Ethereum, Avalanche, any number of other of DXs. So if that kind of answers your question, not right now, but the door's still open for that. So. So
yeah. Question of Glenn Jr. So yeah, when you stake Axion, yeah, you are eligible to earn BTC rewards. Not today because the change hasn't been made yet, but once implemented, like once those BTC rewards are back, all your stakes, Axion stakes, will make you eligible to earn daily BTC divs depending on the volume going in the accelerator.
So will the Axion portal be updated to communicate how much BTC can be expected based on a stake? That's a calculation I don't think we'll be able to offer because there's so many factors that are involved in that. Number one, the price of Axion. Number two, the volume in the accelerator. Number three, revenue that the overall ecosystem is generating. We are looking at
the
shares,
stakes.
Yeah. All of those things are always in flux every hour.
Price of BTC.
Price of BTC. I mean, so all of those things that would require a pretty insane calculator, and then an hour later it would be wrong. So yeah, as much as we would love to be able to do that, it would be wrong. So it might be right in the moment you look at it, but then a minute later it would be wrong. So it's just one of those things that and we might be able to get to where we can give maybe in 3 to 6 months we might be able to look at an average, but even then we've got to be careful that we don't set things up so that there's this expectation that can't be met. So it is a reward for staking, and specifically, in all honesty, was brought back because so many people staked with the expectation of those rewards that we wanted to honor that, and we wanted to make sure that those expectations, at least to a degree, could be acknowledged and served. So yes, we want to be able to use that as a promotional tool moving forward, but with some of the other things that we're doing, I think you'll find that that the BTC rewards is just an added bonus. It's not really why people will be coming and staking or participating in the ecosystem as a whole. So let's see. Not sure about this one.
I think I mean, there's no minimum. I think that you're asking about the stake duration you need to have to earn BTC divs. There's no minimal duration. If you stake for just 1 week, for example, or 1 day, you'll be eligible. The thing is, the longer you stake, the higher, the bigger is your share, right? So you want that share to be as big as possible to earn the most, like the bigger you share, the bigger the rewards, basically. So yes, I mean, all stakes are eligible as long as they are active.
Yeah, my interpretation of that question is he's asking whenever the update is going to get pushed through to reinstate BTC rewards. Then it's basically dependent upon what your percentage of the share pool you control, and that'll determine the amount of BTC rewards that you're going to get.
Oh, yeah, now that I'll look at it again. Yeah, that's maybe what he asked.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
So like Metal was alluding, he's not sure if the update's going to get pushed today, or
we're going to try to have it. Yeah, we're going to try to have it pushed this afternoon. And once it's pushed, once we do push this final update, we will make an announcement so everybody will know. Cool. And again, we're doing this, as a lead up to actually making the core contract and the accelerator immutable, so that we can make sure as we see the engagement, as we see the process unfolding, we can make sure that there's no issues, and we don't anticipate any. These are all, we test these things out, and we metric them out, so we don't expect any issues, but we just need to make sure that it's running as expected. So let's see. Sorry, I'm doing three things at once is not easy, guys.
Multitasking.
Yeah, in fact, I like, as you were answering that question, Big Bear, and you got to the end, I realized I didn't listen to you and I didn't know what you said. So I trusted it was right. So
we've had enough conversations. I'm used to that now. Don't worry. I'm joking.
No, yeah, and again, I know I've said this before. We'll say it again. We'll never stop saying it. The amount of time that's gone into really navigating this process and getting to where we're at right now is really is very difficult to measure. We've had a couple of meetings that went close to 3 hours with 9 people in there, and what's that? 27 hours spent, discussing those different aspects of what we're doing here. So, and that's just one meeting. So. A great deal of time, thought, and effort has gone into getting things to where they're at right now. So,
yeah, I see a lot of comments coming through about people are really happy with the way that the percentages have been split out, and that's a testament to the team factoring in to make sure that this change is going to be a sustainable change, and that there's no one certain aspect of the ecosystem is going to get favoritism. Basically, they've kept mindful of the deflationary measures, which is so the emphasis has gone to the buyback and burn. But then from BTC rewards, the OTC pool, buyback and burn or liquidity, treasury funds, which are buyback and hold to build up to use for future endeavors, partnerships, alliances, whatever. And then to make sure that the foundation's getting a little bit, to make sure the lights stay on, servers can get paid, mods are looked after. It's been really worked out so that it's very balanced. It's very, very balanced. But at the same time, the focus has always been on keeping a handle on inflation by inserting as much deflationary mechanisms in there as possible. So.
Yeah, so with big payday, nothing's changing. In order to there's only 3 big paydays left, and those are actually kind of already built into the equation as well. Yeah, I think the minimum is 350 days that you stake to get a big payday. So if you wanted to get all 3 big paydays right now, it'd be around 1,050 days. If you wanted to stake for all 3 big paydays. And then on the Galaxy stakes, there's really not going to be any changes. We are going to look at setting up a contract that will manage the Galaxy stakes so that you can transfer those Galaxy stakes between wallets that you own without a penalty or any fees, and then possibly use your Galaxy stakes at some point in the future as an asset as leverage. And so we are looking at those things, and that's the nice thing with what we're doing and how we're doing it. It's not while we are going immutable in those regards, the ecosystem is such that we can still maintain the vesting engine for launches when we start seeing token projects returning and launching on the various different blockchains. We can still mint NFTs through the accelerator because that's a contract that communicates with the accelerator. It's not governed by the accelerator. And then we are looking at building out a revenue manager that will manage revenue moving forward. That'll look similar to this that we were talking about, where the revenue will have a set expectation on where that revenue goes and how it supports the ecosystem. And then what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing.
And that revenue manager will be made immutable once it's implemented, correct?
Yeah. So
perfect.
And we still have the ability to stake and to unstake. So all those things will still function and work. Question here, marketing news.
Andy,
so
I'm gonna, if you want, I don't know if you want to add up on what I'm gonna say, but Andy is posting every month a marketing update. You just need to go on Discord announcement, go to the announcement channel. He posts their report every single month. You can just read what Andy is posting there, and of course, if you have questions, you can still ask the team or Andy when he's around. We can definitely help you with that. But I suggest you go to the announcement channel and read all the reports Andy posted there. You'll find lots of useful information on the topic of marketing.
Yeah, and what I also wanted to add, because I interpreted the question just a little bit differently, while we will still look at opportunities to market Axion, what we're going to be more specifically focused on is building out partnerships with other projects, especially during this bear market. We're going to be looking at more engagement from the community. Once this team kind of took over and started going through things and really understanding how things used to be ran, a tremendous amount of money had been thrown at marketing. And in all honesty, and I've been in marketing since I was out of high school. I went to school and graduated with a degree in marketing, radio marketing and sales. Granted, that was a long time ago, and most of that information is not relevant today. But anyway, I've been involved in marketing my entire life. And traditional marketing is just not working anymore. It's not, you either have to be on TV with some really fun, cute campaign that's just in people's face every day. And McDonald's can never stop marketing. If McDonald's stopped marketing tomorrow, McDonald's would stop being the number one burger joint for the world. But that's the only way that they actually keep their name relevant. So for us to keep our name relevant, it's going to depend on partnerships, secondary token use, engaging in other communities, which is what we're doing with the Launch Alliance, and ultimately, and really what was at the heart of getting this locked and loaded campaign to where it is now is to restore token holders' confidence, because ultimately it's the token holders that will be the army that will help build Axion. It's always been that way, and it will forever be that way. So
the best form of marketing comes from within the community.
Right. And the best people to market to are those who are in the community. And that's really kind of that's the perspective we're going to be taking kind of moving forward. We'll if opportunities come up in the future for, traditional type marketing, then yeah, we'll look at that. But especially now in the bear market, we're looking at building out our foundation so that once the market as a whole turns around, we have a small little army that's ready to share what we have to offer, people that are looking for a good project. So let's see here. What's the best way to catch up on the last 1 year development? Medium, announcements, YouTube.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, you can scroll up all that announcement channel and Medium articles James wrote. Yeah.
There's one for Fix, but he's not here with us today.
and that goes back to what I was saying about the community. The best form of marketing comes from within the community. Is we had that little bit of a hangout on Discord Voice. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And
yes, yesterday.
With regards to the Medium articles, not many people may not know this, but you can go in and you can clap up an article up to 50 claps per user. And if you give an article 50 claps, that means you're really excited, you agree, you're aligned with what the article is presented to you. So if people within the Axion community go and read the Medium articles, clap it up 50 times. I mean, this all helps with the Medium algorithm to get Axion news out there. The same thing with Twitter. The Axion official channel, like, comment, retweet it. Anybody that's commented, go and like their comments, if you agree with them. This all plays into the Twitter algorithm, to the Medium algorithms. And it's just about us as a community doing what we need to do. I mean, you're supporting your own stakes, you're supporting your own bags by going out and doing this. It sounds cliche, but we need to resurrect the Axion army again. We need to get out there and really start moving forward with force as a collective.
Yeah. And when you brought that up, it was interesting was when you brought that up yesterday, even I had never really thought of it. Sometimes I'll put 1 or 2 claps, or I'll put 10 claps. And at first I kind of felt odd going all the way up to 50, but then I thought about it. If you go to a play or you go to a show and that show just got you pumped and excited and you had a good time, how long do you stand there clapping, at that program, if you go to a rock concert or a play or something? So the difference really is in Medium is if you really like something, how long are you going to stand there and clap versus, are you just going to clap once, which is okay. It's like a like, but but Medium gives you an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to give this 10 out of 10 stars. And so, yeah, that was a really good point you made yesterday. So definitely want to, if you're really feeling excited about something, kick up the volume. So this is the time to do it. Destroyer, you've been kind of quiet. Do you have anything you want to share, add?
I think he said he has a mic problem, if I recall. Yeah. So yeah, he's present for the team. We love you, Destroyer, even if you're quiet.
How about you, Fisto? Fisto's offered to help me with the knowledge base. As you can tell, the knowledge base now needs. In fact, I started moving the knowledge base from Intercom to Gitbook, and in the process of doing that, every article there would be like half the stuff in there needed to be changed, and that goes back to the heart of why we're going immutable, because I was going through this process of updating all these knowledge base articles and the white paper and all this kind of stuff, and realizing that things have been changed so many times that we're actually we're actually what's the word I'm using for? We're contradicting ourselves even within that documentation. So we are going to spend some significant time updating our white paper and our knowledge base and everything. So Fisto, I appreciate that offer, because I'm going to ask you. I'm going to be pushing some stuff your way.
No, for sure. I mean, I think it's basically you and me most of the times answering like the Discord tickets as well. And I think it's good to have like a good base to answer the questions, because so we can have a clear answer, and I think it's easier and better for everyone. So yeah, let's get it out.
I like this one. So in response to what I was saying, I did not either. I always got 3 and I thought I was cheating. 3. 3.
I used to think the same thing. I would go and I'd clap like 3, 4, 5 times, and then I was like, "Oh, am I going to get rate limited here or what?"
But
no, you can smash that thing all the way up to 50, and then it stops counting your claps. So
yeah,
you're good to go.
that just means you gave it 10 stars out of 10, and you gave it a standing ovation in a lot of respects. So
exactly, that's a perfect analogy. It's the difference between sitting in your chair and kind of going, yeah, okay, you got 3 claps, to standing up and being like, so perfect analogy, a standing ovation. That's what you give it.
We have
awesome, guys. I think we've really covered everything. The one thing I want to say though is I've been really encouraged and excited to see the level of engagement in the accelerator, the open market. I'm watching several buys right now, and we're seeing stakes being upgraded. We're seeing stakes being restaked, and the amount that's happening is actually not really measured in how much activity we see in Discord. So if you just look at the metrics there, there's a lot happening every day in our ecosystem. And so where people might not be flooding into Discord and chatting it up and joking with each other, the activity that will actually make our ecosystem thrive is happening in the back end every day. Once we get the accelerator mutable, once we start really promoting the accelerator and educating people on the importance of the accelerator and how that can help them as they plan out their financial future, I think that's really going to make all the difference. And if we continue to see this organic growth and this adoption from this point forward, as we continue to muddle through this bear market, and as Big Bear has said, we're nowhere near getting through this. There's going to be bumps in the road. We're going to see pullbacks. We're going to see jumps. And that's all good. That's healthy. We want a healthy ecosystem. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. There's nothing wrong with adding and taking away from your holdings as you go forward. So those are all healthy things, and we're seeing that in the back end at a much higher level than you might think. So, and we've got some news around that too. So.
Oh, and also I wanted to give a special shout out to Superman and Crypto Casino here present in the chat. You guys have been like the best cheerleaders we could have hoped for. Thank you guys for doing what you do. Thank you guys for being here. Superman, it's super early for you right now, right? I mean, it's 11 p.m. in France. I don't know what time is it in Australia, but guys, thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you so much for showing up. You've been like huge fans, and we love you guys.
And that to add to that comment, with Crypto Casino and Axion token, Superman, and I'm going to say this, but I feel guilty saying it because I haven't done everything that I could do to support those two gents. But like and share their videos. Mm-hmm. It all helps with the YouTube algorithms to get them boosted up. Once again, points back to the community. The community has to rally in every single piece of news, positive announcements. It just, if we move collectively, we move forward. That's all it comes down to. So, support these two guys. I'm not an influencer on YouTube. It's just not something I ever desired to get into. But it's tough what they do. It's tough to stay motivated on a day in, day out basis to produce content like that. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the community owes those two gents a huge amount of gratitude and thanks. And 50 claps for those guys too. They get a standing ovation from me for sure.
For sure.
Mad respect for that.
Yeah,
most definitely. I put the link in there. I was hoping they would hop on, but you know what? We're out of time. Mm-hmm. It's been awesome.
There was one more comment or a question by somebody.
Labros Vidalis, I saw.
Yes,
NFT stakes produce BTC rewards. Yes, they will, and they are. Those stakes are just converted into NFTs. Just means that you can transfer them, you can sell them, you can transfer them to another wallet if you want, but they still act as any stake you have that are not converted into an NFT. So yes, that's a very good question.
Any stake, whether it's just a native organic stake on the platform, or whether you've converted that stake into an NFT, doesn't matter. Your stake in either form secures your share rate, and your share rate determines what percentage of the BTC gives you, or BTC rewards. Sorry. Mm-hmm. It's like riding a bike. You got to reprogram.
For sure.
And of course, when you buy one of these NFTs off OpenSea, for example, you are now the new owner of that NFT. So you are, of course, going to earn the BTC divs that NFT will give you, depending on the shares, of course, and the amount.
That's an amazing revelation, because that's something that will go so overlooked.
Yeah.
Imagine buying an NFT from somebody that pays you passive Bitcoin rewards. That's revolutionary. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm making a note. So, all right, guys. Hey, man, it's been awesome. I appreciate everybody hopping on, those that have been hanging out with us, questions and everything. We are just getting started, and I hope over the next few days to have a Medium article out once a day. It's proven to be more challenging than I thought it would be. I have a long list of subjects that I want to kind of talk about and share. But I wanted to get the one about, the OGs out there. I wanted to get the one out there, kind of a call to arms. You are the rock that is behind Axion. This community is going to be what truly drives us into the future. So we appreciate everybody, and we're excited to be here. With that, I think we'll just bid adieu.
Hey, Living Like Mike had a question. He's got a friend of his that bought Axion last year, and it's still sitting on ETH chain. How does he get it on Polygon? I think he's just got to.
It was airdropped.
It was airdropped.
So he needs to go to Polygon and look.
She's got to add the RPC to his MetaMask or whatever wallet he's using.
Yeah. The Axion that there is dead. The Axion that there is non-viable, non-tradable, non-transferable. So those contracts were burned. So
we have a video. You can reach out to us on Discord. We have a video that explains every steps he needs to do to actually see those Axion he has on Polygon now.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers,
so Mike. Mike, yeah, if he doesn't see that, ask him to open a Discord ticket.
Yeah.
We'll help him.
I'll reach out to him.
Nice. Thank you, guys.
Hey,
Have
guys.
a good one.
Cheers.
Thanks, team.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody. Onwards and upwards. Let's do it.